Thank you, James. State Farm says the company executive who is seen on video making comments that suggest the insurer is manipulating rates for California homeowners has been fired. The hidden camera video shows the man discussing how State Farm threatens to cancel policies in California in order to pressure state insurance regulators to agree to its rate hikes. The video was created by James O'Keefe, the founder of the far-right activist group Project Veritas, was posted online by O'Keefe Media Group. Released 1 week after a closed-door meeting in Oakland between California insurance regulators and State Farm execs focused on rate hikes. Let's get some more insight by welcoming back Harvey Rosenfield, the founder of the nonprofit organization Consumer Watchdog. Thanks for being with us.
Pleasure.
Your first thoughts when you saw that video?
This confirms what we've suspected for the last 2 years, as State Farm has pulled out of neighborhood after neighborhood across the state, claiming that it can't do business here unless it gets higher rates. The companies have been granted by the insurance commissioner massive rate increases on people's home and rental insurance coverages. And now we have this executive in a gotcha video behind closed doors, kind of acknowledging that it's a pressure tactic by State Farm. Right now it has a request before the commissioner to raise every policyholder's rates by $600 a year. Yeah. And they're doing the same thing. They're saying if we can't get what you were demanding, we're going to stop doing business here. And that's probably illegal. It's certainly improper. And they're asking the commissioner to. They're saying it's such an emergency that the commissioner should rubber stamp this request without it being justified. And from what we can tell, it's not justified. They have plenty of money to pay for the losses in the LA wildfire. They're asking policyholders to reinvest or recapitalize their company by being forced to invest.
Harvey, let me do this. I'd like to pop up a statement by State Farm. We got this into our newsroom kind of late yesterday. State Farm writes, these assertions are inaccurate and in no way represent the views of State Farm. They do not reflect our position regarding the victims of this tragedy, meaning the SoCal wildfires, the commitment we have demonstrated to the people of California, or our hiring practices across the company. Goes on to say that person is no longer with State Farm. What do you think of that explanation from State Farm? And also, what about the thought of, look, this video was said to be, recorded during a date. Certainly people might present themselves differently than what's the actual truth when they're trying to impress someone.
I've always found that when you're on a date or having a drink with somebody, you're more candid than you are in public, and I think that's exactly what happened here. I would expect State Farm to deny any responsibility. They didn't disavow his remarks as much as they just fired him. I mean, they don't want to be held responsible for what he said, because he also made some very racially inappropriate statements about the people around the state, people who shouldn't be building homes where State Farm doesn't think they belong. But at the end of the day, I really believe that in a candid setting like that, that's where you get the most honesty. Okay. Not from the PR flacks that show up all the time and claim, oh yeah, State Farm's broke, because we know they're not.
You've written an open letter here to the California Insurance Commissioner asking for an investigation following the release of that video. Where do you think that'll go?
Look, candidly, the insurance commissioner has been on the side of the insurance companies for the last 2 years. It's got to be pretty embarrassing for him, because he's done everything they've asked him to do. He's raised their rates, he's deregulated them, and at the end of the day, he's turned around and told the public, I have to do all this because that will make them stay here in California. This tape has to give him pause. It has to make him think, well, if I rubber stamp this illegal rate increase that they're requesting, what's going to happen to me? And I can tell you the answer to that is people are really angry about what's happened in our market for insurance across the state. A lot of it is unjustified, and I think the commissioner's wise to give it some thought before he goes ahead and rubber stamps this.
It's just so hard because so many people fear any sort of rate increase, but yet those who have insurance don't want to lose it. So we could talk about this for a good long time, Harvey. I'm sure we'll connect again over this or a similar issue soon. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.